This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 3rd day of June in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Guyana's coronavirus death toll reached 400 today as the Ministry of Health reported 4 more COVID-19 deaths. 5 deaths were recorded yesterday. 3 of the 4 latest deaths are from the Region 4 area. 97 deaths were recorded in the month of May, and 4 deaths have been recorded in the first 2 days of this month. The Ministry of Health also reported today that the number of new infections continues to climb, with 119 new cases recorded in the past 24 hours. In the first 3 days of this month, more than 400 new cases have already been recorded. The Ministry of Health also revealed today that more than 205,000 persons have already received a first shot of one of the COVID-19 vaccines. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony.
As of yesterday, we had 205,944 persons who have been vaccinated with the first dose of their vaccine. That would represent about 42.3% of our adult population, and those who have been fully immunized as of yesterday would be about 72,045, which represents approximately 14.8% of our population. We have differences across the region, and in Region 1, for example, they have been able to accomplish close to 46.6% of their population. Region 2, they have been able to immunize approximately 40.3% of their population, and this is first dose. Region 3, 42.6%. Region 4, 43.2%. Region 5, 46.5%. Region 6, 50.2%. Region 7, 42.3%. Region 8, 27.5%. Region 9, 40.5%. And Region 10 at 12.4%. So the 2 regions that are outliers are really Region 10 at 12.4%. and Region 8 at 27.5%. So we have to do quite a lot of work in these 2 regions. One of the challenges right now with Region 8 is the flooding that we have there. In Region 10, we've known of the persistent problem that we have there with vaccine hesitancy. So we have to continue to work. But I think Region 6 would have met a milestone here, having been able to achieve at least 50.2% of their population.
This evening, citizens are being encouraged to continue to follow the health and safety guidelines against the virus, even after they have received their vaccinations. More news coming up in a moment.
Hi, I'm D'Angeli Singh, and I'm here to introduce to you a new GTT service. You have repeatedly told us that you need a faster and easier way to receive your bills, especially since almost everything has gone digital. Say goodbye to the days of paper bills. Now with GTT, receiving your bill is easy no matter what network you're on. You can get your GTT DSL, landline, Blaze, or postpaid mobile bill sent to you via WhatsApp as soon as ready. To get started, simply update your mobile contact number by visiting gtt.gy/update5 to ensure we have your correct WhatsApp number, and we'll send you a WhatsApp message with your monthly bill as soon as available. When you receive this message, you will notice it's identified as the official business account for GTT. To make things easy, add us as a contact, and each month thereafter, we will send you your bill directly via WhatsApp from our official WhatsApp business account. No more waiting, no more calls. Now you can receive your bills directly through WhatsApp. We thank you for choosing GTT as your service provider and remind you to stay safe during these unprecedented times.
I am Anne Green from Director of Children's Services from the Child Care and Protection Agency. I just had my vaccination and I am encouraging other persons to come out. COVID-19 is really getting serious, so I'm encouraging persons to come out and get your vaccination.
GWI introduces CAP, their customer assistance promotion that offers massive discounts. For a limited time, get 50% off all reconnection fees and another 50% off your entire bill. If your service was removed or you've reconnected on your own, GWI is offering yet another 50% discount off all tampering and replacement fees. Wallet-friendly payment plans are also available. So tap into GWI's customer assistance promotion by visiting any GWI office and avoid them taking legal action. CAP only applies to customers whose services were disconnected or removed prior to 2021. For more information, call 227-8701 or WhatsApp 620-1667. Water is life. Save it.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
At Sash Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sash Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. With the Guyana Water Incorporated moving ahead with its plan to fire more than 150 workers over the next 3 months, the company's former Chief Executive Officer Dr. Richard Van West Charles is of the view that the decision is ill-conceived and appears to have a specific motive. During a press conference this morning, Dr. Van West Charles said GWI cannot properly justify the dismissals because there is no basis for the terminations.
On what basis, first of all, are you firing these people? affecting the functionality of the company and meeting its remit. And then you would have to explain to me, why then are you firing people of a certain class, race, etc.? Tell me. Give me an explanation, first of all, Mr. Bash and Mr. Jordan. Explain to me the functionality of it. Why? And then the unjust nature of whether you have singled out workers of a certain ethnicity. But I give you an opportunity first to explain to me the functions, what has been affected, but you haven't done. You haven't come clean at all.
The former CEO, who's also an executive member of the People's National Congress, explained that when he took over as the CEO of GWI in 2015, when the government changed then, it was discovered that the company was outsourcing jobs to friends and families. He said there were instances where contracts were issued without going through the tender board. He also said in 2015 GWI was in a bad state and additional staff members were hired to complete projects and improve the water supply service across the country, and that was done. According to Dr. Richard Van Wils Charles, GWI blaming cause for the firings of the same staffers who helped to improve the company's performance cannot be taken seriously or justified. He said the company is not operating at a loss, and specifically every GWI office countrywide has been making enough money to cover respective staff salaries. Dr. Van Wils Charles wants the president to intervene and bring a halt to the process, adding that the firing of the more than 150 workers would mean inefficient service and poorer water quality for citizens.
This clearly is unjustified, and the lack of justification signals an increasing inefficient company with reduced service, reduced quality in the light and amidst COVID, where Guyana in the Caribbean has one of the highest death rates. So what are we doing? So I ask the board and the management of GWI to reconsider these matters as a matter of urgency.
Meanwhile, opposition member of parliament and former minister with responsibility for housing and water, Annette Ferguson, accused GWI of being on a racially motivated witch-hunting exercise.
Is that indeed, majority of the persons who have received their dismissal letters to date are predominantly Afro-Guyanans.
The water company said as part of a restructuring exercise, scores of persons will be terminated as the company seeks to enforce its restructuring plan. 1 month after Chief Justice Roxanne George dismissed election petition 88, the petitioners are appealing her decision. The petition was filed by coalition supporters Claudia Thorne and Heston Bostwick. It challenged the validity of the national recount order and the declaration of the results using that order. The petitioners had argued that the Elections Commission did not have the power to amend the law on its own to make way for a recount. But in handing down her decision, the Chief Justice explained that the Guyana Elections Commission has the responsibility to independently supervise elections and can issue instructions and take actions as necessary when matters relating to the conduct of the elections arise. In their notice of appeal, the petitioners, through their attorneys, are contending that the Chief Justice erred in law when she ruled that Section 22 of the Election Law Amendment Act 2000 and Order 60 were not in violation of the Constitution. The petitioners also believe that the Chief Justice also erred in law when she held that GCOM was empowered to set aside the 10 declarations by returning officers when she held that the petitioners did not produce evidence. They said the learned judge erred in law when she ruled that the applicants did not produce evidence in the said petition, in that being a petition which claimed that the said elections was not lawfully conducted, there was no need for production of evidence, except what was presented, namely the declaration as per Regional Returning Officers 1 to 10 and the recount. According to the petitioners, the Chief Justice also misinterpreted and misconstrued Article 162 of the Constitution in that she failed to construe Article 162. The petitioners now want the appeal court to set aside the Chief Justice's decision in full. A suspected bandit was shot this afternoon while another managed to escape during a police chase and shootout in the Queenstown area here in Georgetown.
There. Shot, see the man. Me seen this one. No. Jump on the roof there. Don't let her already. Get up. You gotta find me. Get on the roof. Get on the red shot. Alright, we can't move. Let the police around me.
The two men who were on a motorcycle were spotted by two police officers on patrol. Reports indicate that as the police approached the men, one opened fire on the police party and sped away. The police returned fire as they chased after the armed men through the Queenstown area. The armed men lost control of their motorcycle after one of them was shot by the police, falling to the ground as they crashed into a parked vehicle. The injured man was unable to run, but his partner managed to elude the police by jumping into a bushy area. Other police patrols arrived on the scene as the injured man was taken into custody with two suspected gunshots.
Move on the camera, buddy.
Move the camera. I said move the camera.
The police suspect that the armed men were scoping out a business in the Queenstown area when they were noticed by the police patrol. The investigation is on the way tonight. Let's tell you now that more than a month after an investigation was launched, political activist and social media talk show host Gavin Matthews was today charged for using a computer system to allegedly cause damage to the reputation of another person and corrupt public morale. He was represented at his first court appearance by attorney Darren Wade, and he pleaded not guilty to the charge. The charge against Matthews is related to the statements he made about Culture Minister Charles Ramson Jr. during one of his online talk shows. Ramson Jr., who claimed that he was offended and hurt by the statements, filed a police complaint alleging a breach of the cybercrime law. Matthews was arrested during an anti-government protest and later released as the matter was investigated and sent to the DPP for advice. The Director of Public Prosecutions recommended that the police moves ahead with the charge. Matthews will return to court on the 10th of June for the continuation of the case. An operation by Kanu agents in the village of Line Path in Quarantine has led to the discovery of more than 175 pounds of marijuana abandoned on a dam. According to a statement issued by Kanu, the discovery was made on Wednesday afternoon as Kanu officers were in the area on a surveillance exercise for suspected drug traffickers. Kanu said after 2 hours of the exercise, the officers noticed 3 individuals walking towards them in the cane field. When the Kanu officers emerged from hiding and identified themselves, the 3 men ran away, with the Kanu officers not giving chase, fearful of their safety. An investigation of the area where the men were noticed unearthed 10 large bulky parcels that were plastic wrapped. A further probe of the bags confirmed a large amount of compressed marijuana. The illegal item was confiscated and weighed. Kanu says the seized marijuana has an estimated street value of $10 million. The Drug Enforcement Agency also said it is suspected that the parcels of marijuana were due to be transported to neighboring Suriname for resale. Kanu said it will continue to work along with the Guyana Revenue Authority and the police to carry out operations to stem the flow of narcotics across the borders. 2 days after a Guyanese traveler was held at the Chedijagan airport with more than 3 pounds of marijuana stashed in his carry-on luggage, he appeared in court today to face drug trafficking charges. The accused, Adeyemi Hines, entered a not guilty plea when the charge was read to him. He was refused bail and remanded to jail until the 29th of June when the matter will come up again. Hines was a New York-bound passenger getting ready to board his flight when Kanu agents at the airport became suspicious of his carry-on luggage as it passed through the scanner. An examination of the bag revealed the cocaine in the false bottom, weighing a total of 1.5 kilograms. Hines was immediately arrested and charged.
I'm Ron Robinson. I took the vaccine because, you see, I want to protect myself. And at my age, and even those younger than I am, over 40, take the vaccine. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get COVID, but it means I ain't going to go into ICU. I'm not going to be seriously ill with COVID, and it is more than likely it will not take me to my grave because I got a vaccine in me that says it won't. and will help me to be immune to it and keep it down. So I'm telling you, please, let's fight it. Let's attack this pandemic. Not just say, I'm not going to get it. You can. So attack it, not just, take precautions. Attack it. Take the vaccine. I'm telling you, it can save you a lot of worry, and your relatives as well, and your friends.
Across the region right now, Nicaraguan police stormed into the home of opposition leader Cristiana Camaro, escalating a political battle ahead of elections later this year, in which longtime leftist President Daniel Ortega is seeking to hold on to power. The police placed the opposition leader under house arrest, and they continue to occupy her house. Social media and local television broadcasted live images of police entering and surrounding the opposition leader's house, in which they could be seen using force to eject other journalists who had arrived to cover the event. The police action comes in the wake of prosecutors seeking her arrest for money laundering and other crimes, according to judicial authorities. A source close to the opposition leader's family said the 66-year-old vice president of Nicaragua's biggest newspaper, La Prensa, was inside her home and could be arrested at any time. In a statement, Nicaraguan judicial authorities said prosecutors wanted Chamorro detained on suspicion of crimes, including money laundering, plus a lesser citation for misrepresentation. Argentina will begin to produce the Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine after test batches from the South American country passed quality tests conducted by Russia's Gamaleya Institute. In April, Argentina firm Laboratorios Richmond produced test batches of the vaccine, with plans to scale up once Russia had carried out quality inspections. Argentina has spearheaded use of the Russian vaccine in the region. The announcement comes as Argentina battles a harsh second wave of COVID-19 infections. The virus has left 78,733 persons dead and 3.8 million infected in Argentina since the start of the pandemic last year. And finally tonight, international news. Israeli opposition parties have just hours left to form a new government that would end Benjamin Netanyahu's 12-year stretch as prime minister. Yair Lapid of the centrist Yesh Atid party has made several deals ahead of the deadline. But crucially, he is yet to reach a final agreement with a right-wing nationalist politician, Naftali Bennett. Mr. Bennett is expected to become the prime minister ahead of Mr. Lapid under a rotation arrangement. Mr. Netanyahu and his Likud party have been appealing to fellow right-wing politicians not to join the coalition, knowing that a new government would still face a vote of confidence in parliament before it could be sworn in. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, encouraging you to stay safe and have a pleasant night.